That's okay. People are here now. Unbelievable. Okay, here we are. You guys, you caught me. We were sitting there having a conversation and I'm like, I'm reading your comments because I'm going, hey, and I'm like, I did not hit live.
Oh
Mandy and I met ahead of time and I forgot to hit live. I'm sorry. Here we are. Hi,
Hi,
guys. Well, Mandy, we can start over, right? And we'll just make it nice and brief, but we're just getting started. So nice to see you guys. Sheila and Lori, yay.
Okay,
We're
good.
back.
Thank
Actually
you.
hit live. Woo. Hi, Misty. Lori, Sheila, good to see you guys. Yay. Oh, Albie's here. You guys, so I'm so glad you're here. We're going to kind of go over, Mandy, tell us about yourself. Tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Okay. So I did my undergraduate at East Carolina. I did a 4-year program in dietetics. And then I went straight into a paired program to do my master's and my internship. The internship is required for dietitians. And when you complete that, then you take a national registration exam. And if you pass, then you are a registered dietitian. So that's what I did. I was telling Kirsten before, all dietitians will be required to have a master's degree by, I think, 2024. So I went ahead and knocked that out. Knew I wouldn't want to go back to school in a few years. So
exactly. Good for you.
yeah, so I just moved back to Charlotte. I just started my new job actually too. I work for Novant.
Awesome.
I work in cardio and pulmonary rehab. So we have like a rehabilitation and cancer wellness program at Novant. So
wow. That sounds like an awesome, like, first time job opportunity. It sounds amazing.
I feel so lucky. I'm really excited.
Congratulations. And Mandy, your mom and I are friends, and we just got to talking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to tap into Mandy's knowledge. And so I'm really excited for our collaboration. I'm excited for October, us working together, and Mandy sharing some really good stuff with us. So we can all grow in our journeys, no matter what journey, no matter where we are or what we're doing on our journey, because we're all different, you guys. We're all different. So we were talking, Mandy, we see like new plans on Pinterest or new weight loss opportunities, or it's endless. And I asked Mandy, I'm like, what do you say to all of that and to how important being a licensed, registered dietitian, going through all the schooling and internships, like, what do you say to that? Because there's so much out there.
Yeah, so you definitely want to take your information from an accredited source. So dietitians are the experts. They are licensed to provide medical nutrition therapy, which is safe. They know you, they take everything into account. And it's different because on the internet, I mean, anyone can put any information out there. It doesn't apply to everyone. It may not apply to you, and it could even be dangerous depending on what it is. And like I was saying, there are a lot of different certifications and tests and stuff that you can do to, I don't know exactly what the titles are, but for nutrition. So it just depends. So those, I don't really know what standards those hold.
Right.
Basically, you would think anyone could do it.
Right.
So the analogy I was using, or like you said, with personal training, you wouldn't want to go, work out and take advice from someone who isn't a certified personal trainer.
Absolutely, but it happens. Yeah, it happens. People are like, yeah, I'm a trainer, I'm a personal trainer, but they've never had the accreditation and they don't have the safety measures behind them, And so, yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. That's a problem. And they're also doing meal plans because their clients are going, what do you do? And so they're sharing that, which is they're not allowed to do legally, but it happens.
Nothing is regulated though.
Oh my gosh. So what are some of the biggest problems you see kind of people dealing with their diets?
Right. Um, so it really depends, and the list just goes on. I feel like nowadays a lot of people are doing those fad diets and taking information from all different kinds of sources, listening to anything that they hear, comparing themselves to others, their diet with others, and really not understanding that we do all have different bodies and different needs. More specifically, I guess, I eating disorders are so prevalent nowadays, which is
Yeah.
really sad.
Yes.
But I think that does stem from the restriction and just, the whole process of trial and error and just how so many people struggle with it. And for food, so many different emotions come into play with that too. I mean, it really is part of your life. So that's really hard. Biggest nutritional problem, though, I guess, added sugars and
Hmm.
processed food consumption is huge.
Hmm.
That's really detrimental to our health. Diabetes,
Wow.
heart disease, all kinds of things. So I guess,
That's interesting. I never
yeah.
thought about that.
Hmm.
Wow. What would you say? So look at Sheila's comment. So you had said previously, Mandy, that, food can be emotional and
Hmm.
bring up emotions. And if we are, struggling with what we're trying to do in our diet, it can bring up some negative emotions.
Hmm. Oh yeah, food is
So
my
what you
enemy.
said earlier, you referred to it as like a therapy.
Hmm.
So nutrition and changing nutrition, a lot of that is behavior modification.
Oh yeah.
And
Hmm.
so you're not just doing meal plans, because sometimes we think of dietitians as just putting plans together, but
Yeah.
you actually do the whole thing.
Oh yeah, and a lot of times I won't do a meal plan because I don't think that that's the
Mm.
right way to go with that patient. There is, certain individuals that benefit from that, but it's not for everyone. And a lot of times I don't even want people to count calories because it's just you get to an
Right,
obsessive point about it.
right. Where it just becomes about the number and nothing
Mhm.
else.
Right. But yeah, it really is. It is really is a therapy. I feel like a counselor half the time. And a lot of
Mm.
times I don't even talk about nutrition with my patients. I just talk about their day and make them feel comfortable. And eventually, once you build that trust, like you'll get somewhere,
Well,
because
because it's deep.
yeah,
The
it's a
reason it's
stressful
deep.
thing for people to talk about.
Yeah, it really is. And it is emotional and it does
Mhm.
bring up emotion.
Mhm.
So that's interesting because I've never really thought about that aspect of being a dietitian.
Oh, yeah.
Would be the mental health part of it, which
Yeah.
is probably the most important thing.
Yes, definitely.
Mm. Well, Misty says here she thinks the safety part is super important, which it is because you're dealing with your health
Hmm.
and your well-being. And if you just go off and try a trend that you don't know about, boy, how dangerous is that?
Oh, yeah,
But it happens.
it does.
Yep, eating
Mhm.
disorders.
Yeah. And a lot in the younger population too.
That's what just breaks my heart is just the young people. And I do think a lot of it is so stress related.
How does working with a dietitian work? Is it usually a one-time consult? So it depends on what exactly you're looking for and what you need. Usually
Mhm.
it is more than one time. Um, it could be for however long you want. And it's usually just sessions here and there. And we, kind of go through the whole process together at your speed, I guess I would say. So,
Hmm.
like I said, for some people, they need a meal plan and they're good to go and they're self motivated and have that self discipline and can kind of be independent with it. Other people need more help along the way.
Everyone's different. So
Mhm.
do you just kind of custom do it for each
Oh, yeah.
client?
Hmm. Yeah, it's patient-centered is the buzzword.
That's nice. Yes, definitely, definitely. Oh, for sure with the food. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
yes. So what is the biggest problem nutritionally you see, Mandy?
Um, Back to what I said before with someone's diet and nutrition. It really depends. I feel like the added sugars have just such an impact on America right now, and that contributes to so many things for our health. That's one of the things that I do focus on with people
Mhm.
because it's an easier thing to focus on and cut out. Makes a huge difference. Um,
So you're talking like cookies, cakes, brownies,
yes,
crackers,
yes.
like all the bad stuff. All the stuff
Yeah.
we shouldn't eat, but we sometimes crave.
So what they add into products, they add it for taste, flavor, shelf life, all kinds of things, texture. But yeah, that is what we want to steer clear of. I'm
Hmm.
trying to think. It really just depends. It depends on the population. Um,
What do you think about our fast-paced society, fast food, zipping
yeah,
around, grabbing this, grabbing that, running
the
over to Jersey Mike's, like just the fast eating out all the time. Like
mhm. The
that's
convenience
hard.
is the biggest thing. Yeah, and sometimes you don't have a choice, and you need to grab something. And not everyone meal preps or can afford everything, so like I said, it's so personalized. But yeah, that is very prevalent because everybody moves so fast and doesn't always make the
Right,
time or even think about their nutrition. So
right. So Sheila asked, do you recommend fasting?
um it depends, and that will always be my answer. I would have to talk to you more about like your routine and your health, I guess. I do think there's a time and place for it. Um, and there's lots of research, but I wouldn't necessarily off the bat recommend fasting. I am more about the balanced,
Hmm.
like 3 meals a day with some snacks. I think it's a better fit for more people. I don't know. It's
What about intermittent fasting?
yeah.
Do you feel the
Um,
same thing?
yeah, so basically the thing with fasting is if you are skipping a meal or going like a longer period without eating, then you're eating less in the day. So you're eating less calories and that may
Right.
be how you're losing weight. So it goes both ways.
Interesting. Well, it's
Mhm.
interesting to get your perspective, as an educated nutritionist.
Well, and people have different opinions. So some
Mhm.
some dietitians may recommend that, but it's not one of the first things I would think about.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I did not know that. Um, what are most people missing from their diets, Mandy?
Oh, um, I talk about fiber in one of the videos for October. I think fiber is huge. I don't think anyone gets enough fiber.
Wow.
um, Whole grains too, with our carbohydrates. I think even whole grains, fruits and vegetables. Even if we are eating fruits and vegetables, you probably need more.
Agreed. With all
um,
the above. I mean, I remember like now, like people are like whole grains, no, carbs, no. And
right.
I'm like, whole grains are like a staple.
Yes, we need those.
That's so funny.
um, and even water. I feel like people neglect water and just forget to drink water, and
Oh,
it's
I
a
think
big
so
deal.
too. Well, people are so busy,
Mhm.
it's hard. So Sarai asks, do you use food sensitivity tests with your clients? Are they real?
Um, Personally, I have not, but yes, we do that, I think.
Okay, that's good. I didn't
Um,
know that.
I'm not entirely sure about that.
Okay. Yeah. And Sheila said intermittently. And we just discussed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, and my thing is, if a certain diet works for you and you're comfortable with it, then by all means, go for that.
I keep hearing you say that there is no one universal answer.
Exactly.
Like each person is different. Each person brings something different. And I think that's really cool because it's the same with fitness. Like
Mm-hmm.
not every person is the same in regards to what they want, how their body responds.
Mm-hmm.
So our bodies are really incredible
Mm-hmm.
the way they're just so complex.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Misty says, I'm glad to hear someone in nutrition talking about people's differences. Figuring
Yeah.
out what I needed was hard. Must be a challenge with strangers, but glad you're helping people. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
You're helping people that you don't have a close relationship with.
Mm-hmm. Or
That's
they
professional.
don't know a lot about, because, and that's the other thing with finding information on the internet. If you have diabetes, then you may not be able to, do all of the things that you see, or even not just diabetes. It's just, if I know more about you and you are my patient, then you will get like the full care that you need.
Well, and about all the issues and the
Mhm.
personal stuff that, someone not working with them would know.
Mhm.
Important information that could help them on their journey and keep them safe.
Exactly.
I mean, our physical health is not up for grabs.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like we have to be serious about it. We can't be flippant about it. I
Mhm.
think, in this society, in this day and age, that's so easy to do
Yeah.
because everyone's in a hurry, So yeah, it's a struggle for sure.
Mhm.
That's what Mandy said.
You struggle with getting calories. Mhm. Yeah, so I know there is research. I haven't done much of my own research on intermittent fasting, because I know there are different times that
Mhm.
you would participate in. But
Oh my gosh. Look, my husband just grilled venison backstrap.
oh my
Thanks, honey.
gosh,
I'm not going to eat. All right, I'll get a little one.
that looks awesome.
It's very good. Thank you, honey. No, I'm good. Oh my gosh. It is very good. Very good. Look, everyone says hi. Thanks, honey. Look, doesn't he look good? He's lost 30 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm good, honey. Look at him forcing food on me. So he lost, excuse me. Hold on. So Perry lost 15 pounds in August and
Mhm.
15 in September.
Okay.
So he's lost 30 pounds.
Wow, that's awesome. How did he do it?
He's working very hard just through watching what he's eating, basically,
Okay. Does
and
does
getting
he
his
work out with you?
exercise. We
Okay.
work out Tuesday, Thursday mornings.
Awesome.
That's like our time. That meat's like, all right. Mary coming in with food. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be bunched together. We're all different.
Yeah.
Let's talk about complacency. That's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
What's that mean to you?
Sorry, I'm reading the comments.
Oh, that's okay. So what do you say about no more complacency? What do you say about complacency?
What exactly do you mean?
Can you tell when someone's being complacent? Like when you're working with them, can you tell? Because complacency is just kind of like standing by, not really moving forward, just kind of here. Can you like sense that? Because I know in fitness, when I'm training someone and someone's being complacent, it becomes
Mhm.
a barrier to their success,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can tell when people are engaged or not engaged, or don't want to hear what I'm saying, or
Hmm.
just don't want to participate at all. Some people won't show up, and you can choose to do that, you know. But I can also tell when people are just telling me what they think I want to hear.
You
Um,
can tell that.
So that's the big thing with asking like open-ended questions. Because if I
Hmm.
say like, "Oh, did you eat, more fruits?" Like I said last time, they'll just say yes. I'll have to say,
Right. There's
"What?"
like no specifics.
And I'm like, "So what did you change? How are you feeling about it?" And then see what they say and go from there. But yeah, I definitely.
Definitely complacency, we can tell. So, if you had one piece of advice, oh, wait, you know what? I think I missed a question from Lori up here. Lori had, let's see, I hope I can find it. I saw it briefly and then I was like, we were talking about something. Lori, I can't find it, but resend your comment so we can see it because I know it was a good one. Um, so, if you had one piece of nutritional advice, Mandy, what would it be? If someone was like, all right, Mandy, what can I do for my nutrition? What's one thing you would tell me? What can I do?
um, I would probably just tell you that small changes go away or go a long way. And those good choices really do add up and make a difference. I'd probably say just don't be too hard on yourself, because
Hmm.
everything can fit into a healthy diet, and consistency is like the most important, I guess. Um,
I
but
love
yeah,
the
I
fact
wouldn't.
that you're focusing on like everything else but a specific nutritional tip. And that's what I
Mhm.
love about you. It's like you're not saying drink more water or,
Yeah.
the magical thing is intermittent fasting or the magical thing is just
Right.
fruits. You know what I
Because
mean?
there is no one answer, and it doesn't work for everyone. I probably would say drink more water if you want me to give you a real answer.
Right.
um, but yeah, just making better choices when you can. Sometimes you can't, but more often than not, just the little switches and the small changes that you can make really do make a difference. So
Right.
I know
All
that's
right.
big,
Let's
but
talk the big M word. So, explain a little bit about what happens in menopause. So, you have someone come to you and is like, I'm in menopause. My body is just crazy right now. What's happening?
hmm so I would probably tell you to go to someone who is more knowledgeable about that.
Right.
um,
That's good.
I think the main thing would be focusing on those balanced meals and being consistent with it, and just making sure that, because I know there's so many different symptoms that different people experience. It's
Yes.
not the same across the board.
Right.
So it would be a lot of figuring out what exactly you need, what your issues and concerns were, and how we could fix it like little by little.
Yeah. I did some research on menopause and it was like, if you have like a regular routine, like
Mhm.
exercising regularly,
Yeah.
eating well, being consistent about your health, that your menopause just kind of, and I know that's kind of been my experience and I feel blessed and I owe, genetics has a lot of it, to play in that. But
Mhm.
I also feel that a healthy lifestyle and healthy eating go a really long way,
Mhm.
especially with hormones. I mean, that's hormones.
Yeah.
So I would just say, focus on being healthy.
Mhm.
Focus on, like Mandy was saying, it's everyone's different, but eating well, getting enough calories, basic. And that's what I love about it. Like everything you've said is like basic, good information.
Mhm. So there are dietitians can specialize in literally anything. I know there are some there's a book that I have been wanting to get, but I forget what the name is. I can get back to you with that. But this dietitian works with hormonal health and with
Mm.
women's cycles and kind of matches your diet to your needs in that sense, which is really cool. I just don't know a lot about that.
So everyone basically has different needs with that as well. There's not like one universal menopause answer.
Right. It's not like, oh, eat this and it will prevent, heat flashes. Like, no.
But that's what we want, don't we? Like, okay, what do we need? Yeah, unfortunately, we're a little more complex than that.
Mhm.
So Lori asks, as we get older, what changes do we need to make?
Um, let's see. Well, as we get old, what I see in my older adults, decreased appetite. There's different vitamins that we make less of or get less of, like vitamin D, we would need
Mm,
more of. And then it just depends on your diet too. Like if you aren't eating a lot of meat or animal products, then
mhm,
probably B12. Just it, like I said, it depends.
mhm.
But um, yeah, that's probably the main thing is just
Right. As we get older, what changes
Mhm,
do we need to make? We're all different, aren't we? We all have
mhm,
different things we're dealing with. We all have different genetics. We all have different lifestyles, which affects our success.
mhm.
Oh, wait, here's another one. The menopause belly. What do you have to say
Mhm.
about that, Mandy?
What is that?
Are you familiar with that? Look,
No.
Mandy's so young and sweet. She's like, what's that? It's when women tend to gain weight in the lower section of their abs just with menopause. It's easier to gain weight there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And so, and menopause and then cortisol and an inactive lifestyle. I mean, a lot of it is a lot, it's a combination. It's not just one thing, but
mhm.
menopause really adds, it's a lot easier to gain weight around your midsection.
Okay. Mm.
But
Um,
it sounds like you're saying, just like before, like, take care of yourself, eat healthy, the basic needs, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Lisa from Peaches Skincare. Hi, Lisa. Lisa's a wonderful salon owner and master skin esthetician. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Check out her channel if you guys have not already. So much good skin information. And Lisa talks about how important it is to be natural. And, basically, you as a dietitian, Mandy, can appreciate that. It's like good stuff, right? Fruits and vegetables, things that are good for our bodies, helps us internally and with our skin and with everything. It's just so important.
Mhm.
Let's see what else. Yes, to hydration. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Eating mindfully. That's good, Lisa.
Yes.
That's
Listening to
awesome.
your
And
body.
it is a journey, isn't it? It's a journey, and we have to walk each journey step by step. We can't leapfrog our way down a journey and miss out on certain things. We have to go through it all. So I'm so glad, Lisa. That is awesome. Yay. Okay. Another fan of intermittent fasting. I actually do it too, and I love it.
Okay.
Um,
How
and
do
I
you
know Mandy doesn't really promote it because everyone's different. But yeah, I like to do that. Let's see.
There's a lot of questions. This is awesome.
Yes, LB, check out
Mhm.
Lisa. She is amazing. You will love her. All natural. She embraces aging gracefully and with dignity. It's beautiful. I love to hear her talk. She's wonderful. Let's not scare Mandy.
Someone said I can send you a picture.
You guys are hilarious. Oh, here's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and me, Sheila, snackers.
So favorite go-to healthy snacks. I'm all about finding like a lower calorie version or like a better ingredient version of your favorite snack because there's so many different brands, you really can find anything. Um, but if you're like a sweet person, just maybe making your desserts with like whole foods, like peanut butter and dark chocolate and,
Mm, that's what I like to do.
yeah, just like healthier alternatives to make the snacks that you love.
That can
Or
work
just
for your body, right? I mean, the
mhm.
peanut butter, I mean, that's energy and it's nutrient dense,
But if
better
there
than sugar.
yeah, if there is a snack that you are, not willing to part with, then just make sure you have that in moderation, like your portion control.
What do you think about all these like veggie snacks? And like I have found one recently, it's like veggie, like chips almost, and it's made out of like beans and rice and
Mhm.
they're really good, but I'm like, am I kidding myself? Because I like Sheila, I love salty snacks. And
Mhm.
so
Me too.
that's my downfall. And I'm kidding myself. I'm like, I think I'm eating vegetables right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are great if you like them. Sure. I think just reading your labels and making sure that they are good, but if you see that they have a good ingredient list, then
Yeah.
yeah.
I love how laid back you are. I like because I sometimes we think of dietitians and we're like, oh my gosh, they're going to tell us what I can't do
The
or
food
what I can't
police.
eat. And you're just so chill and so cool. And you're like, whatever works out for you.
Well, I'd rather it be that way
Me
than
too.
very strict because then that I mean, that is just I feel like that results in everything that I don't want. Um,
Mhm.
if I'm willing to work with what you already do in a sense and just kind of improving on that, I find that it works so much better.
Right, right. I agree with you. So Lisa says she found menopause, it was all about eating. I think they give you so many what ifs, you panic. And you're right, Kirsten, healthy lifestyle. Yeah, completely. So eating changed everything for Lisa.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll have to look into that and give you guys some more information.
Hmm. It's very interesting. Okay, we saw that one. Consistency. Yes. Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about proteins. We hear about proteins all the time. In your opinion, what are the best forms of protein?
Um, well, it depends on what you like. If you are a meat eater, then
Yeah.
just the leaner proteins are obviously going to be great options. Your chicken, your fish, even like a leaner ground beef or like a turkey sausage or ground turkey. That's what I'm thinking of. And then your um, meatless proteins. So
Yeah.
like your soy, tofu, I love.
Hmm.
Um, even like beans are amazing.
Hmm.
There's all kinds of different, like vegan or vegetarian fake meats nowadays. But yeah, your plant-based proteins are great. I am big
Hmm.
on those. And even like your dairy, so your cheese and your milks are
Hmm.
great sources of protein. There's different like types of proteins. There's high quality, which are just
Hmm.
better utilized and absorbed in your body, and those are usually your animal proteins. Um,
Okay. I
and
didn't know
that's
that.
so that's why you have to eat more of your plant-based proteins to
Gotcha.
kind of equal,
Interesting. I did not know that.
just because they have less protein, so
Hmm.
you have to eat more of those. But yeah,
Sure.
your chicken is going to be a high quality protein. Your eggs are going to be great for you.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so it just depends if you are a meat eater or not, but protein is really easy to get in our diet. Um,
Hmm. Don't you think it's an area that, like, I know a lot of people who eat a lot of carbs,
mhm.
and well, and she wouldn't mind if I said, but my daughter, I'm always asking, I'm like, did you get your protein? And she's like, Yeah. And I'm like, okay, Deb, you need protein.
Right. Yeah, I eat a lot of carbs too. Sometimes I wonder if I'm getting enough protein, but I probably am. I'm probably
Yeah.
good.
Well, you probably don't need to eat a lot of protein for
Yeah,
it to be like that recommended amount for you, right?
right. And that's the other thing. Like, we really don't need as much protein as we think, or as much as you see on the
Anything
internet.
that we
Yeah.
think. Let's see here. Let's go here to Sarai. Do you have thoughts on using supplements or vitamins to meet nutritional needs?
Um, I think that is a touchy subject. I feel like you ideally should have some medical advice involved in there to actually see if
Mhm.
you do need that. Um, like something like B12 would be ideal for a vegan. And then the other thing is when you are buying supplements or vitamins, you want to make sure that they are from a good brand and they have clean ingredients. It even goes into like you have to consider the bottle that they come in. You want them to not
Really?
be like see through because yeah, there's a lot of things that go into that, but I think food first always. I think
Mhm.
that we could get all of our needs from food first. But
Mhm.
if you are a person that definitely can't achieve that, then you could definitely look into supplements or vitamins. But I just think that you need to be safe about it.
A lot of people are deficient in vitamin D. And so
Mhm.
taking a
Yeah.
vitamin D supplement has been really popular recently.
Yes.
And someone actually asked me the question, and I was like, I try to get it in my food and in the sunlight.
Hmm. Yeah.
And but it was questioned, is that enough? And I'm like, I'm not sure because there's a big deficiency around today. What are your
Hmm.
thoughts on that?
Yeah. Vitamin D supplements I do like. I actually take vitamin D. Um, So yeah, I think some are on the safer side as well. Some you just need to be a little more careful with. But with the vitamin D supplement, like I said, make sure you're getting that from a good brand.
Hmm. Hmm. So what about there's a buzzword now, fiber.
Hmm.
Fiber. Why is that so important to us, Mandy? And
Hmm.
what are some really good sources of fiber?
I love fiber. Um, so fiber just has great effects on your digestive system. It balances your gut bacteria, which
Hmm.
do wonders for your body. They talk to your brain, they balance your skin, all kinds of things. Um, and just keeping you regular too. So
Mhm.
fiber and also fiber, it can help manage your blood sugars, it can lower your
Mm.
cholesterol, it keeps you full longer. Um, Fiber we can get from whole grains, oats, rice, all kinds of things, fruits and vegetables, and
Mhm.
um, other types of foods too. I actually mentioned in one of my videos that you'll see. Um, there's like wraps that have 15 grams of fiber, basically
Mm.
half of what you need in a day. Um, but mainly in those whole foods, which is what we want to eat anyways.
Right.
So we actually need 25 to 35 grams of fiber is like the general recommendation. So 25 for women, 35 for men. But there's even studies out there now that say we could use more. So
Wow.
it's
In your
I mean,
opinion,
amazing.
are we getting enough? Do you
I don't
think?
think, honestly, well, this is just an assumption, but I don't think most of us get enough now.
I mean, we don't eat bread. I know I don't eat bread anymore. So that's a lot of whole grains I'm missing out on and fiber.
Hmm.
And fruits and vegetables. Do we all eat enough fruits and vegetables? No.
Exactly. That's the other thing. No, probably not. Beans are another source. Basically, most of your plant sources, plant foods, will have some kind of fiber. But yeah,
We're all
I
in
don't
a
think we
hurry.
do
We're
enough.
all running through like a fast food place. I hate
Yeah.
to think that, but that's like the life we're living right now.
Hmm.
And why do carbs get a bad rap?
Mm, carbs. I personally love carbs, and I eat so many carbs. Um, I think, I mean, obviously just because of the weight gain and the calories and all kinds of things, but I think people just don't understand the difference
Mhm.
between good carbs and like added sugars because sugar is
Right.
obviously a carb. We want to avoid added sugars. So like your sodas, or like the little pasty like pastry treats, in packages will have a lot of added sugars, but bread and rice and pasta, we want those
Mhm.
are good sources of carbohydrates. um, your body needs carbs every single day at every meal. That is what keeps you going, your powers your brain, gives you energy for everything that you need to do in a day. It goes on and on.
What would you say about the low carb eating plans? When it's, mostly protein, like what do you think about those? Because those are really popular right now.
Right. So I think there is a time and place for that. It could work for some people, but I think that you need to do it right, and a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
So like
I
with
agree. I mean, because a lot of them do work, and
mhm,
it's just how strict you are with it, because that matters a lot.
right. So like I said again, like if you're doing keto and you're following a very low carb diet, um, you're getting less calories. You're in a calorie deficit potentially,
Mhm.
which is how you lose weight. Um, But what I often see is people have, these keto meals and it's like all bacon and cheese. And they're just eating
Mhm.
like straight protein and fat. And I'm like,
Right.
you're probably getting more fat and protein than you got before that you don't need.
Mhm.
And it's just, I don't know. It depends on the person, but
Yeah, I see what you're saying about that, because that's not everybody, right?
right,
And so
right.
it's so hard. I see what you're saying. It's so hard to generalize.
Mhm. And then
Yeah.
the other thing is when you do stop that and you start to eat the carbs that you used to have, um, you might see all of that weight come back.
Yeah. And who know, everyone's different, so you don't know. Now, what about what
Mhm,
Sheila says here is that she tries not to snack after 6? What do you think about that?
mhm. Um, I always say that your body doesn't know what time it is. I think if you are truly hungry, then you should eat. I think you should make a
Mm.
healthy choice. You don't need a full meal after you have dinner. Hopefully, you had dinner. um, But I do talk about this in one of the things we'll share with you guys. But I can't sleep on an empty stomach. So I'm not often a midnight snacker, but I don't frown upon that. Um, I A lot of people think, if you eat after 8 p.m., it's just all going to be stored as fat. You don't need it, but that's
We
not
do think
necessarily
so.
true. Your body usually will tell you what it needs. So if you're
Mm.
starving and it's 10 p.m., then go have a cheese stick or some like
A
healthy
good choice.
low calorie protein snack. Yeah. So,
Yeah. It depends on the person,
yeah, if
right?
that works for you though, and you feel great when you wake up in the mornings after not, eating, because you are fasting. You're fasting when you're sleeping. You're going a longer period without eating. So, I mean,
And
if
I
it,
love that. I love fasting, how it feels, and I like
mhm,
exercising on a
mhm,
fasting stomach, because I just don't
yeah,
like to eat
hmm,
before I work out.
right, right.
That again is a choice that everyone's different.
Yeah, whatever works
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. My
Yeah,
daughter is vegan and she eats more in a day than I do on keto.
yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, you can eat more for sure, like Mandy was saying.
I would say fruits and vegetables are unlimited.
Yes, yes. Which dairy-free milk do you think is best?
So it depends on what you like because people are specific with their milk and they all do have different
Mhm.
textures, I guess you could say. Personally, I like soy milk and oat milk. I like oat
Mm,
milk because it's
me
creamier.
too.
Um,
Yep.
a lot of people like almond milk, and honestly, they're all good options. But from a nutritional standpoint, soy milk actually has a more comparable nutrition profile to regular milk. So it has
Oh,
7 grams of protein per serving, whereas almond milk would only have 1 gram of protein.
oh,
So,
wow.
basically, if you are dairy free and you like both soy milk and almond milk, why not drink the soy milk and get more, nutrition for your like more, what's the word?
Bang for your buck?
Yeah, more bang for your buck, right?
Wow. Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. I joke that I do a
Low
low fat
fat,
keto. I think once you're off sugars, it's a good thing to stay off because sugar is such an addiction and we all struggle with it. And when we take it out, we're good. But when we add it back a little bit doesn't, that's not real because it becomes a lot. What about sugar, Mandy? What do you think? Do you
Um,
think is it a
well,
problem? Like, what kind of problems does it cause?
Well, it's hard because bread is sugar, fruits are sugar, milk is sugar, cereal is sugar, chocolate is sugar. So, like, we have to kind of decide what sugar we're talking about.
You're
Um,
exactly right.
but like whole grain bread and pasta and rice, like that is so good for you. It has all those vitamins and minerals. It has that fiber. Added sugars, like I said, or like the cookies, we probably don't need those. Um, but yeah, I mean, it is a personal preference.
Well, what you said earlier about your personal battle against cookies and crackers and processed food and sugars, in your opinion, that's a big problem in our society today.
Right,
And the
right.
more we can be aware of that, the more we can control. Just kind of like the food label video that we put together. It's like
Mhm.
reading the label, knowing what you're putting in your body.
Right. Yeah,
And I love that 5%, 20% rule.
I like to use that because it's a really easy way to recognize like what you're getting. Um, because you literally can just look at the percent daily value and be like, oh, maybe I should choose a different one, or oh yeah, this is okay. So is
Sheila, is monk fruit good as a sugar substitute?
Um, like I said before, if you like that, then yeah, I think that's a more natural source than regular sugar. It technically would still be an added sugar because you're adding it to
Mhm.
something that previously did not have sugar. Um, but all of those would be added sugars. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if that's how you like it, then sure.
And again, I'm like, I love your perspective because you're like, whatever works for you. Do you like it? That's good. Let's do it.
Whatever
Because you're
way I
focusing on
can,
longevity, like
yeah.
what's going to work for them forever.
Exactly. Whatever way I can get you to make a healthy choice, that's what we're going to do.
And you're not like, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. You
Mhm.
know, again, that's what I used to think that's what you guys did. Okay, this is what you do, step by step. And you're kind of like, whatever works for you. And I prefer yours because it's more therapeutic
Mhm.
and it's more of a
Right.
coaching
Right.
rather than someone beating you down. It's an interactive behavioral thing. I
Yeah.
love that.
My goal is to just like teach you how to make the healthy choices and how
Mhm.
to get into that routine and know how to do it. So then you don't need my help anymore and you can live your life.
Right, right.
I love a girl.
Our carb cravings, right, Misty? That's so funny. Yes, that's huge. Don't you think, Mandy? I know it's huge with fitness, with my clients. It has to be maintainable. It has to be
Mhm.
sustainable. Like that's one of the factors.
That's the word I was going to use. And that's the thing with all the fad diets is they're not sustainable. So when you stop doing
Mhm.
those, then, where did the results go?
Right. It seems more short term, but people don't think that way.
Mhm.
Teach us to fish. So yeah, like teaching rather than, pounding into, because that's not, We even learned, like when I got my health coaching certification through ACE, that it's all about asking questions and it's
Mhm.
all about building rapport and trust and actually having the client have the answer. So it's not us saying, oh, you need to do 20 push-ups 3 times a week to get a good chest. Like,
Mhm.
it's not us doing that. It's working with them and finding out what will work for them and what they will work for.
Exactly.
So it's very interesting, very much like the nutrition aspect.
Mhm.
So if you had one thing, Mandy, if I came to you and I was like, what's one thing I can get rid of in my diet to make me healthier? What would that be?
Mm. Um,
Oh gosh, more food.
oh my gosh.
Wow, chicken breast. He's making a feast. Thank you, honey.
He's going to
Hey,
show
this is
off
what I
too.
live with. He is feasting.
We eat this all week.
That's what, yeah, he's grilling up and then we'll put it away to have for the next several days. So he's meal prepping on a Friday night. So yeah, so back to what's the one thing, and I know that's probably hard and you would say it depends.
Um, I probably want to know like what you usually eat, but I wouldn't want to say any one thing that you should
Yep.
cut out because everything can fit into a healthy diet. If I'd probably say trans fats. If you eat something
Okay.
regularly that does have trans fats, I'd probably say maybe we shouldn't do that.
Right.
Um, and
Yeah,
I
that's
did
good.
notice you talked about that in your video today, which was great.
Yes. Yes.
I wanted to add, so marketing and companies want to trick us to
Mm.
buy their products. So they, they obviously have the grams of trans fats, but even if it does say 0, you want to look in the ingredient list because if
Hmm.
it says anywhere partially hydrogenated,
Yeah.
then that means there are trans fats. So like
Wow.
legally there can be like, less than 1 gram and they're allowed to say 0, but there still could be some in there. And ideally we don't want to have any in our diet. So,
That's very tricky. And so why is trans fat such a bad thing? What does it do?
um, I mean, lots of bad things. They'll clog your arteries and, raise your cholesterol. We want to steer clear of those entirely.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
probably one thing I would say.
Yeah. So we have
Don't eat
some
the
things
trans
here
fats.
about meal prepping.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you have any tips to make it easier? Because a lot of people are like meal prepping.
Yeah, I think meal prepping is awesome. It's a really helpful strategy, I guess. Um, and if that's how you eat healthy and stick to your eating plan, then you should definitely meal prep every week. I'd say to make it easier, I guess I would just say like make something that you like and that you look forward to eating. Make
Mm,
the whole meal prepping process like enjoyable. Like turn on some music, make it fun and
mm.
relaxing. Like actually put the time in, think about it. And have fun with it. The other thing I guess would be to plan it out to make it easier. So whichever day that you can dedicate to your
Mhm.
in time that you can dedicate to your meal planning, make that your routine. If you want to do it, Sundays when you're making your dinner, then go ahead and do that every week and that might make it easier.
I like that, turning it into a positive, something
Yeah.
fun. Well, we all want that, right? We all want it to be enjoyable, and that'll mean we'll do it,
Yeah.
right? If we enjoy it, for
And don't try to
sure.
like make anything crazy, if it's going to be stressful and it's not going to store well for the whole week, then don't do that.
You guys are so cute. Let's see here. Are there types of foods that can give you more energy, like before a workout, or are all foods just energy?
Well, macronutrients are all energy, protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Um, before a workout, so I go into sports nutrition a little bit later in the month, but you want simple carbohydrates before your workout. So that quick energy. Simple carbs like fruit
Mhm.
your body will absorb those really quickly, and then you can use them for the workout. So you don't want to have like this big fiber filled, rice and veggies, and
Right.
you don't want to eat that before a workout, obviously, but
Right.
something quick, even like a Gatorade you
Mm.
could have before a workout, and that would provide you energy. But yes, all foods are energy, whether
Yeah.
it's an ice cream cone or a piece of broccoli. It's all energy.
So what are your thoughts? They're all energy, but there are different choices because how would eating an ice cream cone be the same as eating, the broccoli or whatever? Like it provides different energies, right?
um,
Like there's a benefit to eating more healthy.
well, yeah. So, our whole foods and our fruits and vegetables will come with all kinds of other nutrients that are good for
Mhm.
us. But yes, they will all provide energy. But before a workout, you want quick, simple carbs.
And something that's not going to be hard on your stomach.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't want to eat something too big, and you don't want to eat something high fat or high fiber, because that will upset your stomach, and you may not be able to work out.
Right. We don't want that. Let's see. All right. Albie, what are you making? That's awesome. So I know everyone is different, but what tips can you give us? So, because we're all on a journey,
Hmm.
even though our journeys are all different, we're all on a journey.
Right.
And so, what can you tell us? How do we move forward successfully? Like, can you share some tips for longevity in this?
Yeah. So, again, with the consistency, I think that's the main thing with sticking to a healthy routine. Um, and that word sustainable. I honestly, restriction is really big for me. I don't think that we should be restrictive,
Mm,
because that just may lead to um, overeating in the future. Like I say,
mm,
don't cut out the foods that you absolutely love,
right.
because it could lead to, when you do get the chance to eat those foods, you overeat. It could lead to binging, and it just creates an unhealthy relationship with food. You want a stress-free relationship with your food. You don't
Yeah.
want to be like so strict and obsessive about it. You just find that good flow and just trust yourself. Like you know what foods are healthy, and you know how to make those good choices. So just doing that more often than not. I think being more lenient with yourself will be an easier way. Like if you have, if you want to call it like a cheat meal every week, then
Mhm.
do that if that's what works for you. Because then you can look forward to that and know, like, oh, okay, like I can stick with my routine, and then, oh, I get to eat anything I want on So it's just finding what works for you.
We all do better with that. Restriction, we don't like restriction,
Hmm.
and the more that you can be yourself, it will lead to success. I love the way you keep saying that.
Hmm.
It is awesome. Awesome. So everyone's different. Everyone has different things that we're dealing with, but we're all on a journey. And
Hmm.
I appreciate you sharing, Mandy. And through the whole month, we're going to be sharing tidbits and recipes. So I'm
Hmm.
really excited about that. I think I'm going to go in the kitchen and bake it up and share with you guys how it all comes out.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for her involvement in this and just sharing her. She's a young professional hitting the field, and it's fantastic. We're
Hmm.
really proud of you, Mandy.
Thank you. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it wasn't, there's no magic for nutrition. There's no one answer. So I know a lot of people are looking for that, but
Yes.
um, if
Everyone wants that. And
yeah,
everyone wants the pill for exercise.
exactly.
It just doesn't exist, unfortunately, right?
Right.
God made us and he wanted us to take care of our bodies and physically and mentally and spiritually all the way around. Good nutrition does all of that.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
I did want to say, if you are looking for more detailed information or personal information, I can definitely help you out with that. It would just be I would need to know more about you, but we could get more in depth about nutrition if that's what you wanted.
And so Mandy's on Instagram. And so I shared her link in the description of the video that I posted today about reading labels. So you can connect to Mandy that way and direct message her if you have any questions or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're thankful to have her help. And I'm super excited for her. Yes, let's see. Oh, and then Sheila. That's right. That's the most important thing.
Love your body.
We have to love ourselves.
You only get one.
Yep. And we have to take care of it. And I'm thankful that we have professionals that do that for us, that help us like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys. This was really fun. Do you have anything else to add, Mandy?
I don't think so. Thanks everyone for listening.
Okay. Well, you guys tune in this month. We'll be sharing some fun stuff. And you guys have an awesome night. Mwah. Good night.
Bye everyone.